Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is my controller settings for the new F1 25 game. Also, if I sound rough, it's because I'm ill at the moment, so there might be a bit of coughing in this video, which I'm sorry about. But anyway, onto the controller settings for this game. As I've said in the comments, I've been struggling a bit on this game, but I think I've now found some settings that have helped me out and makes me feel a little more confident in the game now. So yeah, let's get into it. The assists, we'll go into that. I just can't be bothered to learn without racing line, so I've got everything off except racing line on corners. Everything else is manual on off. Obviously that's just preference to what assists you. I mean, if you really want to be quick on the game though, them two definitely need to be off no matter what skill level you've got. The rest you can put on automatic or on, and then just over time practice them off, because overall to be the best on this game you need all the assists off. Camera customizations. I've got. See, this is the bit that's going to take a while because I think that they've somehow. I don't know if they've messed up or it's just because obviously all the car models are different because they're not all the same car, but you're gonna have to customize this on car specific for every single car. The rest you can all keep the rest. You just need to change the lateral to from specific cars between -11, -10, and -9, if I remember rightly. You just got to flick that over, and whatever makes it so central. So you know the wing mirrors, you can see the entire bit, and it's just on the edges of your monitor, your TV, or whatever. Makes it so center so you can see all of them. It's either 11, 10, or 9 on the specific car model. The rest, obviously, the rest is the exact same, no matter what car model you've got. Obviously, camera shake off. Obviously, in TV pod you can't lower the camera movement, but your eyes adjust to it anyway because it's that low on camera movement. I don't have any TV pod camera settings because over the last few games I've preferred TV pod offset to TV pod, so I've only made camera settings for TV pod offset. Got on screen display. All these lot are on, except the objective thing, which is I think the objective panel is just stupid. It mostly is only good for career mode stuff, etc. But onto my on-screen display customizations. This is for the time trial thing. Obviously, I've made everything small because I mean, for some reason, the on-screen display is always massive. Moved the what's it called? The MFD to the middle, like it was in the earlier games. I think 23, it was automatically in the middle or something like that. 22. The rest I've just shrunk so I can see a lot more of the circuit because they're just too big. Most of the stuff, I put the mini-map up there so I can see both of my. I'll put the mini-map there because on the normal base positions is covering the wing mirror, and obviously I don't want to obstruct any of my tools that I can use, obviously, so I can have a better view of cars behind, etc. But yeah, I think it's the I don't use the elimination chamber one, but yeah, these are the race qualifying ones. Well, this is the race one, roughly the same. I've just made it the same on every single one of them, obviously, and then qualifying, all the exact same. I've hidden certain stuff because I mean, like for pit window opening qualifying, you don't need it because there's no strategy. But then the rest in the same position as the race one, and then all shrunk. Do I need that? No. Controller settings, generic settings. Adaptive triggers off, because it's, like I said on the previous games, it's absolutely useless having adaptive triggers on a racing game. ERS mode, I prefer it on toggle. I think just for a controller it's better using it on toggle. I know that wheel users quite a lot of them use it on whole because it's more realistic to real life. That one doesn't affect us, that's wheel, and then I've just left that on the default. So controller settings, it's exactly the same binds as the previous years. I prefer L1, R1 on the gear up. Obviously you've got your own preference, quite a lot of people still use X and square. Got rid of that because you don't need to change the camera settings. L3 as the DRS button. I've had it for the previous 2 games and I just prefer it a lot more with the L3. Obviously moving the DRS and all that stuff, I've got my voice commands put on square now, with changing the gear up buttons to L1, R1. Overtake X, so when you're on the start lines, because obviously my clutch thing's also X, so as soon as you go off the lights you can get that extra little boost off the start of ERS, and the ERS is quite powerful in this game, so it does help you out a lot. So if someone has to like wait until they've got a little bit of traction and then put the overtake on, then they've already lost a lot of time, because obviously that delay of putting the overtake button on, but because I've put mine on X, I can get that instant overtake boost. And if I get some good traction, which obviously on controller you've got that inbuilt pad traction assist anyway, so you can kind of get away with it. I get that instant boost, and then obviously the easiest time to make overtakes in a race is off the start in the first lap, so that helps me out quite a lot. So that's why I've got X as the overtake. All these are pretty useless. I don't use the shortcuts. I don't see any point in them, to be honest. And then yeah, nothing for them. Vibrations, force feedback, I've got it at 135. Obviously you don't, with having the main thing on, sorry, having the main thing on just means you really don't need to have any of these on. Obviously on last year's game I had the rumble strip effect on 1, but I think for some reason on this game the rumble strip effect, for me, in my opinion, is even more bumped up than it was on the previous game, so I've just turned it off. Obviously with some of the laser scan tracks, because they've actually managed to get the dips and all that stuff, because not all circuits are perfectly straight on, especially when it's like indented on the curbs and stuff like that. It was really moving my car quite a bit, so I've just took that off. This helps it better. Wheel rotation, I've lowered it from the previous years because it was really understeery for some reason on mine, so I've made it so my car is a little bit more pointier so I can actually turn into the corners, so I've lowered it to 410. I think on the previous years it was like 460 or something like that, so I've lowered it. I think for this game you're gonna have to, whatever you was using, or unless you use this, I think you're gonna have to just lower your maximum wheel rotation by 50 degrees, because I kept it the same from this year to the last year, and I was understeering like bad, so I've lowered it by 50 degrees. Calibration settings, I've roughly kept it the same. I think I've lowered it by about 7 degrees. I think it was like 135, 140 on the previous game. This game I've got it to 128, so I can get that smoothness. Obviously some people might hate this because it might be too understeery, but I mean, the way I like it, I'd prefer to have it a smooth drive. I obviously have a smooth driving style myself, but if I make it so it's extra smooth, in the race trim, now that there's added tyre wear and stuff like that, and dirty air is now a thing in the games, which I like quite a lot actually. I'm glad they've added the dirty air back into the F1 games and stuff like that. So that, like, obviously the smoother you can be, the easier it is for strategies, etc. and stuff like that. So if everyone else is struggling on their tyres and they're, you know, turning in really aggressively and ruining their tyres, and you can have a smooth driving style, there's quite a lot of circuits out there that you might be able to go from, if there's no safety guards, you might be able to go from a 2-stop to a 1-stop and negate and lose the 20-second loss. So then you earn an advantage, and if you can keep your tyres in check, obviously this is to help with the smooth driving style, then you're in the best position for races, which is obviously always a good thing to win the races. All the dead zones I have off, I don't need to put it on. Saturations, I don't really need it. I don't need to be having more sensitive. Linearity helping out with the more smoothness, I've got that on 30. It's quite high, but I prefer, like I said, I prefer to have it so I can have a smoother driving style. Throttle linearity on 20, so I can get smoothness on the power, so I don't lose the back end, going from 0 to 100, etc. And then brake linearity also on with 15. I've lowered that slightly since the previous games because the stopping power is significantly worse on this game than it was last year. The braking distances are a lot longer, so I've made it so the braking is a bit more sensitive, because with my previous settings I was struggling quite a bit with the braking performance, so I've lowered that down to 15, but obviously the rest all on 0. I don't know what else to graphic settings. I've got that on 90. Motion blur, I've got it on 0. You don't need it. I don't even think this setting works, but just to make sure, even if it does work, lower it on 0. Steering animation on, and then I've put it on performance, so I'm on 120 FPS. Obviously, I think if you want the outright thing, I think there's still that thing where 60 FPS is quicker, but honestly I can't tell a difference, so I just have it on 120. Audio settings, I've lowered them all because for me the game was extremely loud. So I've got it on 6, 8 on everything else. Music on 0, it's useless, I don't have the music on. 8 for the other cars. I've got it on board a driver mix because I prefer the driver mix audio compared to the rest. All these are off. I don't have tinnitus. Obviously if you do have that, then put it on to whatever suits you. All these are the bog standard ones you get given. To be honest, I didn't even realise you could turn that off. I actually probably put on engineer ducking off, because you'll be able to hear your everything around you so much better. I didn't even realise you could turn that off. Upshift tone off. I don't need. I can just see it on the screen. I put it on this on critical because the engineer talks way too much if you have it on anything except critical. And then subtitles you could have off, but I think on and off is your preference, but I think, in my opinion, the subtitles are just massive on the screen, so I have them off compared to previous games. I don't know if there's anything else I need to do. I've done the graphic settings. Graphic settings, camera settings, etc. Yeah, I don't need that. Time trial settings. Oh, that's useless anyway. So I think that's everything. Obviously, I hope these camera settings, not camera settings, controller settings help you out quite a lot. Obviously, I was struggling quite a lot at the start of this game. Had to make quite a lot of tweaks. Every now and then. but I think now I've got some settings that I am properly comfortable with. So yeah, that'll be it then. I hope you enjoy the video. Obviously, if you want, you can like, share it to other people, and hopefully if they subscribe, then I appreciate that quite a lot. You don't have to, obviously, it's your choice. But I hope that has helped you out. For settings, hopefully is a rough guideline, or if you use them all entirely. The settings for F125. I'll see you in the next video, which will be the time trial videos. So bye.